Ah, and, Hello everybody, welcome to Film Fireside. Mulan is on Disney Plus for an extra $30. Honestly, I'm going to spend just like a couple minutes to encourage you to just wait to watch this movie. There is nothing about this movie that makes it like you've got to see it now, you know? It's fine, it's okay, but don't pay the $30. This may sound like a contradiction because before I was really supporting, paying to see Trolls World Tour and other VOD releases. This one's different. Disney could have released this in theaters. A lot of people could say, well, they're just trying to be, nice to people because of the pandemic. Maybe they're trying to not encourage people to go to the movies right now. That's bullshit, because why is New Mutants in theaters then? That's a Disney-owned thing. So what was their goal in doing the $30? It's not to be nice to people who can't go to the movies right now or who feel uncomfortable going to the movies right now. It was to make money. And quite frankly, because of all the delays this movie had, they would have made more money doing it this way than sending it to a movie theater. I feel gross about that. To be clear, I didn't pay for this. In fact, I wasn't even going to watch it. I was going to review it when it came out to Disney Plus later. Some family was dying to watch it and they invited us over. I didn't want to be too good to go and spend time with the family. So I went and I watched the movie with them. And I was happy to do it. And it was a fun experience. I enjoyed the movie too. That's the other thing. I'm happy I did it, so no problems there. You could say, well, Disney's struggling right now. So is everybody. Everybody's struggling right now. And quite frankly, of all the companies to bounce back with no problems as if it never happened, Disney's the one that's going to do that. With Disney World being open, they're making money again. So for them to do this it had nothing to do with making it convenient for people who are scared to go out because of the coronavirus. It was so they could screw people over. Now, this is coming from a person who has been going to the movie theaters since June. They've been open and they've been social distancing. And I have felt perfectly safe going. There's hand sanitizer everywhere. They're safe. I keep my distance from people. The seats are spread out enough that I never have to be in close contact with anybody. I have not been in danger going to the movie theater at all. But again, that's for me. I understand others aren't comfortable with that yet. That's totally fine. The reason I'm mentioning that is just to give context to the fact that I've been going to the movies for a while, so in my mind, there is no reason Mulan shouldn't have been released in theaters. Perhaps in California, where things are still locked down, maybe Disney saw that and was like, we can't make a lot of money here. So I don't know. There are other aspects to it that are there. But again, they released New Mutants to theaters. Movie theaters could have used that as well. They're struggling as well through this. This will just be available on Disney Plus they said about 3 months from the release time, so just wait. Okay, let's just actually talk about this movie. I had really low expectations. I've had low expectations about live action remakes from the beginning. The only one that was decent was Cinderella. My wife said this, and this is a good point, because yes, they did try to tell their own story. I'm one who I'm glad Mushu's not in this movie. I'm glad there's no ancestors. I'm glad there's no music, because that would just be a remake of a movie that already exists and is great, and I don't need anyone to redo it again. So there were some choices made that were different than the cartoon, the animated Mulan, and I appreciate those choices. But one thing my wife said, they didn't make enough choices to make it feel like it's its own thing. That's something my wife pointed out, and I agree with. I don't think it separates itself enough from the original Mulan animated film to make it feel like it's its own thing. I would say it does have moments where it feels that way, but there's just enough direct references to that animated film that it still feels like a carbon copy still, and cheap. It feels cheap still. Now, there are elements of this film that are really, really good. The production design and cinematography are probably the two things that made me feel fine about watching this movie. This movie isn't unwatchable. You're not sitting the whole time wishing and just begging for it to be done. It's a very watchable film, enjoyable for the most part. I was pleasantly okay with what I was watching, and I think the cinematography and production design, costumes as well, I like costumes in that. Just the visual aspect of it, for the most part, was really stunning. So it was pleasing to watch. It was good eye candy. There were some great things happening on screen. But even then, though, there is a lot of problems with that. The editing of this film is really choppy. Some of the fight scenes, to try and hide the fact that they're using very, very apparent CGI moments, there is some There's some really bad editing that makes it look very, very choppy, especially in those intense action moments. I was kind of expecting for this when I saw the trailer for this. I was kind of expecting like a Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon-esque as far as like the action is concerned. And there are some moments that are very good, that are great action. But again, the choppy editing and the bad CGI kind of left me feeling distracted for those parts. That's something I noticed and was a little annoyed by. But I could totally see others having like just not even noticing or even caring about it as much as I'm caring about it. As far as the character work for Mulan in this one, I would say it feels very bland. She's a great actress. I don't think she acts poorly necessarily, but just the character Mulan, I think a combination of her being pretty emotionless and kind of the script writing her that way, she's just there and kind of just does her thing. I don't really feel the fight for her family, the fight to protect her family. I don't really feel the weight of that from her or even from the script. All that served is the reason she went in the first place, and then that was it. The first act of the movie, they touch on it, and honestly, if you've seen the animated film, you know she goes back to see her family, and it wasn't until then that I was like, oh yeah, that was a thing in this movie. I didn't really feel that was her drive the whole time. I didn't really feel the motivation for everything and anything she was doing there. My score of Mulan, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Wow! I think this film is getting a little more hate than it deserves. I think that's part of, there's like a boycott Mulan thing going on for a reason other than the Disney Plus. There's a lot of politics in China right now, and I'm not really informed in that, so I don't really have an opinion on that, so I don't want to like comment on it, but I do know that that's happening. So that makes me wonder if people are giving the film a bad score just because of that and not because they've even seen it or actually care if the film is good or not. They're just trying to go out of the way to unsupport it. However, it is a film that I'm like, I'm gonna forget about it and never really want to watch it again. Hence why waiting for it to go on Disney Plus is not really worth buying an early access to it. Thank you so much for watching. Have you already spent the money for Mulan? Perhaps you're watching this 3 months from when I'm filming it, and it's just on Disney Plus now and you're watching it now. So tell me your thoughts on the film below. Comment, start a discussion. While you're here, go ahead and give this video a like. It does nothing but support the channel, and I really appreciate it when you do. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss out on more content coming your way. Thank you so much for watching. Comment, like, subscribe. Bye-bye.